Hey team, it's Justin here with another edition of Mid-South Records. We're looking this month at our September top performers. It was a month with a lot going on. We had an iPhone launch, we had our cash workshops, we had all kinds of things happening. And want to take just a few minutes to recognize those that ran up the score the highest. All right, so as we always do, we're gonna start by breaking down our district level performances. Starting with activations, Joe Smithers and the Kingdom took the top spot with 113%. In MRC, that goes along with activations, it was Joe and the Kingdom at 111%. Looking at Plus Premium, attach rate, even though it's not a standalone metric, it really drives a lot of the scorecard. Scott McKee and Team 6 came in with 130%. Our APH leader was Jason Barnes in the Commonwealth at $80.44. And putting it all together, earning his diamond record, Joe Smithers and the Kingdom, 105.2%. It was another first quartile finish for the Kingdom. Now, transitioning to our store level, you can see our top three here: Woodruff, 131%, South Park, 133%, and our leader, South Tryon, led by Dominic Brooks, 174% in the month of September. In MRC, it was Team Eat at 142%, Woodruff at 157%, and Hake Schvitz and our Clarksville team at 281% out of Tennessee Rising. Store level Plus Premium attach rate, it was Holden and A100, 165% to their goal. Poteet and the Hustle Squad at Mebane, 169%, and look at Eden. Newly promoted Ashley Allen, 200%. That's a perfect Premium Plus attach rate. So I'll also point out that it's a clean sweep for the Empire here. Speaking of sweeps, the Empire swept an APH as well, with Holden coming in at $103, Mebane at $109, and Eden with an incredible $116. And right there you've got it. That's a BC and A100, all getting it done at a high level, showing what's possible. If they can do it, everyone should be doing it as well. And finally, composite school. Tim Stowe and Team Woodruff, 127.3%. In second place, it was Dominic Brooks and South Tryon at 131, and just 0.9 of a point ahead of them, Ashley Allen and Team Eden, also earning another platinum record, actually a diamond record for that team. So Eden's been on a roll, and changing leadership, they're continuing their winning ways. So now we shift to our RC level, and one thing you'll notice here is we're expanding it to the top 5 rather than just 3 like we do our store. So you're going to see 5 names on the list each time. These folks put up some great performances. I'll mention the top 3 by name as we go, but certainly want to expand the scope just a little bit. Third place in handset activations, total activations, Jalen Moore out of Nippers at 263%. It was Sarah Neal at Madison at 269%. And leading the way, Enrique Castellanos out of Opry Mills at 300% in activations. Again, MRC follows activations. It was Isaiah Cox at University, 261%, good for third place. Corey Catrone at Brentwood came in at 267%, as did Enrique Castellanos at Opry Mills. Now looking at Plus Premium, check out the list of folks with perfect attach rates. You'll see here, we run down the list, but we had 5 people that were perfect, and our 6th was 20 of 21. So they all deserve mentioning. Sarah, Selena, Taylor, Tarika, Tyrese, and Jahira at Mebane, 22 of 22. We had 56 people that were perfect on Plus Premium. That's about selling value, making sure customers are getting the most out of the wireless experience, and those folks really paved the way. In accessories, we had 4 people break $10,000 last month. You'll notice in the top 5, we've got one store that's got 2 people on the list. Thad Tillman, $10,000 out of Holden. Brandon Williams at our Lexington, Kentucky store, $10,200. Annalise Ramos out of South Durham at $10,004. And leading the way, Sarah Neal out of Madison, Tennessee Rising, $11,722. So big numbers there, folks getting paid. And when you put it all together and you look at the composite score, we've got our leaders here. I'll point out, I'll come back to them in a second, but 2 folks with perfect composite scores last month. And starting with the leader for Palmetto Heat, D. Dela Cruz out of our Lake Murray store. It was Al Hernandez out of Nightdale for Carolina Pride. Drew Melcher out of Highlands for the Commonwealth. In the Empire, perennial favorite Annalise Ramos out of South Durham. Madison, Sarah Neal for Tennessee Rising. A great month by Sarah. And then our two perfect composite scores. Isaiah Cox out of University for Team 6 and Taylor Munoz out of our Myers Park location. Both of them had perfect 170% composite scores. Now what I also want to call out is we're starting to see folks that have won their gold record, their platinum record, and now their diamond record. And as you see all of the icons here, we've got several folks that have now earned a diamond record, meaning they've led their district at least 3 times this year. So kudos to those that are clinching that. We may have to figure out what comes next beyond diamond, because we got some folks creating quite the collection out there. All right, team, well, there you have it. Another edition of Mid-South Records in the books. As I mentioned earlier, we had some folks really run up the score. When you look around right now, the midpoint of October, running up the score is apparently what everyone is doing. Who would have ever thought you'd have a month where you could be running 125% to your activation plan and be worried about catching up? Really, it's a great problem to have. And that's my challenge to you in the back half of the month is let's not be satisfied with green. We normally say get to green and look around to see if it's enough. Well, we're blue already. You gotta get to blue and look around to see if it's enough. Let's take the win, but also continue to drive ourselves further and see what we can do to really run up the score. It's been a great couple of weeks with store manager ops reviews. We've got 6 out of 7 completed. We're seeing new leadership take the field in markets, and I am really encouraged by what we've got before us as we plan for the holiday selling season. So, as always, thank you for everything you do day in and day out in service of our customers and Sprint. And I look forward to coming back here next month and celebrating another edition of Mid-South Records and celebrating those that ran up the score the highest and did it best. Thanks again.